Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about overeating and bloating as a neurodivergent person, which, as I've gathered, is very common among my clients, among so much of what I read online, and in my own life. I definitely ate a little too much earlier today, and this happens, and it's such a recurring issue, and it can really throw off our mood, it can throw off our focus, and it's just kind of detrimental to our well-being. So I want to make a video about this, especially since I just finished this one book, The Slow Down Diet, which I highly recommend all of you read. It's really changed my perspective on eating, not just what we eat, but how we eat. And I made so many connections to the neurodivergent experience that I want to share with you all. So first and foremost, you overeat because you're looking to suppress something. Like, more often than not, there's just something uncomfortable that you're not facing that food just really distracts you from completely. And so in that way, food is a bit addicting. It is a bit of a crutch. And it makes stopping eating a bit harder because that process of eating just feels so nice and soothing. And notice how during those times we're not consumed with our problems, we're consumed with something else, which is food. But after the meal, it's a different situation. You still have the emotion, and you're full, and you're bloated. Another reason you overeat is because of that mind-body connection thing. A lot of us neurodivergents lack mind-body connection, either through alexithymia or just trauma or something like that. This happens a lot too. The third reason for overeating is, your digestive process might just be slow, either today or in general. Some days are just like that, and you have to be attuned to your gut. You have to be attuned to your body to be able to figure that out. The fourth reason you typically overeat is because the food is either too stimulating or it's not stimulating at all. So if it's too stimulating, which is a lot of processed food these days, these companies make the food so tasty that you don't want to stop eating it, and you keep buying it, and you eat a lot, and it fills their pockets. It's great profit for them, but it doesn't help you out. And oftentimes, it causes you to overeat because the food is low-key addicting. Or the food is understimulating, which means that you're not enjoying the eating process, which does really affect digestion. This is actually something that's, this is scientifically proven. If you're, it's almost like being disgusted by a food. Your body is actually going to work harder, or your digestion is going to be slower because your body's kind of scared that it's eating something bad. And so the more relaxed you are, the more peaceful you are, and the more you're enjoying the meal from a steady, composed place, the better your digestion will be. And now, why do you feel bloated after you overeat? Because it's not only because you ate too much. It's also probably because you ate kind of fast. This is a huge cause of bloating. This is something that this book covers as well, and you don't really hear talked about much. But genuinely, your digestive system, your organs, it's an intricate system. And if you want to work with it better, you have to work with it as a team and, feed it slowly. It's almost like having a teammate, passing it super fast to them, hard. That's hard for them to catch. Or giving them slow softballs. One of them is going to make this whole system much easier and much less stressful. There's another reason why bloating happens, and this is because 20 to 40% of the digestive process actually happens before you eat the food. It's called the cephalic digestive process, where you observing the food, smelling the food, your mouth salivating. This is a big part of the digestive process. It prepares your gut microbiome and the enzymes in your gut You know, it's like preparing your teammate. And yeah, this is a huge part of digestion. And these days, with food being so accessible and, you know, you just have to open the pack of chips and you eat it, it's like this whole digestive process is bypassed. So I highly recommend also sitting with the food, smelling it, observing it, just taking a pause before your meal, you know, observing what you're about to eat. This really prepares your body for what's going to happen. And yeah, sometimes another reason you're feeling bloated is because you're not enjoying the meal, you're having a bad day, and, you know, this is more likely, you know, higher cortisol levels, higher stress levels make you more prone to inflammation. And a lot of bloating is inflammatory. So that's another thing to think about. Now, what do we do about it? First of all, I will say this book will give you all the answers. It's less than 200 pages. So it's a very easy read. So first of all, it's not about just what you eat, it's about how you eat. And not just how you eat, but also how to live. It's about living slowly, living mindfully. And there's a lot you can take away from that book, and it's scientifically backed. So I really recommend it. But yeah, this eating slowly thing, here's some practical tips. 30 chews per bite. Now I know this seems extra, and like, you don't have to do this for the rest of your life, but try that for like just a little bit. Try that for like a few meals, the next few meals you do. And trust me, even if it feels like you're just taking so many chews and your food's already super liquidy in your mouth, it's fine. You have more time to enjoy the bites, you have more time to enjoy the food, and your digestive process will be much easier, trust me. Another tip that's given in this book is to take deep breaths during the meal and before the meal. And what this does is it helps oxygenate your gut, oxygenate your internal organs to the point where it works more efficiently and you're actually bringing more awareness to that side of you or that side of your body. And I swear, whenever I do this, I eat less. Even though I could eat more, I'm more attuned to my gut. And I feel like my gut also digests quicker. So it's really good. And then outside of the meal, there's gut massages you can do, like Chin Tsang. I think I've talked about this before, but just doing this first thing in the morning on an empty stomach really helps soften up your gut and really helps you bring awareness, that mind-body connection to your gut. There's also yoga you can do for the gut, which for some reason works super well. It just makes my gut feel super soft and tender. It's beautiful. And finally, it's all about relaxing, okay? Sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system states. You've probably heard of them. Sympathetic is when you're stressed. Parasympathetic is when you're in that rest and digest state. And they call it rest and digest for a reason. It's akin to when your body can rest and digest food most efficiently. If you're not in a parasympathetic nervous system state, best believe your body's going to have a harder time digesting food. And it's going to be felt not just for a few minutes after the meal, but maybe the rest of the day. Your gut needs your body to relax so that it can do its work. If the body has other stressors, other things to pay attention to, other things to do, other functions to carry out, that energy is away from the gut. And yeah, it's going to make this whole digestive process slower. And ultimately, the digestive process takes a lot of our energy. And, you know, as you've felt, it can really throw off your whole day. So you have to treat this very carefully. Yeah, that's it for this topic. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you all. And I'll see you in the next video.